Hey, 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 beautiful people. It's Sarah Jane from Access Your True Nature. And gosh, I've just wanted to pop in here quickly before I go and watch my daughter play some netball and be her cheerleader. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on in my own world. Because I don't know if any of you noticed, but the energy, maybe it was my own reality, but my energy was a little heavy in my world yesterday. I'd just come off of a 7-day challenge, the Believe Challenge, where I was leading people that were willing to upgrade their lives and change their unconscious commitments and limiting patterns and in their stories to let it go and to really expand into getting the results that they want based on their commitment to choose that. And I was on a real high. The results were spectacular. They were feeling empowered, and it makes me really happy because that's my mission, to get people to actually change their trauma into dharma. And it works. It works because I've used this myself over and over again, and it's an amazing space and an incredible container to be able to hold that space for people that are willing to do the work and get the results that they want. And at the same time, my beautiful dog, Pongo, needed some support and assistance in transitioning out of his body. And I was thinking about that for myself because business is not as usual. I do business very intuitively, and I live from the space of my life is my joy of business. Hi, Nikki. So I wanted to speak a little bit to any of you who can relate to this, to really having those sort of contrasts when we're coming from these two boundaries that I always say we need in our lives, of looking at what is it that I need to be and using our imagination for us rather than against us, to actually go into the space of courage to get us from what we're not wanting closer to what we want and close the gap. And that grief is not always about the loss of, as a normal reaction to people and animals and things leaving us, but it's also these conflicting feelings that I was kind of having yesterday, of that are often caused by this sort of ever-changing pattern of behaviors where something ends. So the elation of, wow, I've done a great job, I've gotten all these people to a place where they're empowered and they're lit up and they're living into their gifts, and the end of the fact that the container was complete, that my job was done. And that there was another space of infinite possibility, but also this place where we want predictability. We want people to show up in a certain way, and we want a certain result from the energy that we've put into something. And that's really part of our human nature. It's a normal reaction to grieve. To grieve and feel happy at the same time, like I did with Pongo. Yes, I'm going to miss the physical presence of my dog. I'm going to miss smiling when I was preparing dinner last night. I missed seeing his little face standing at the window waiting for me to throw him a tidbit. I'll miss his little cheesy grins and the way that he greets people, and what a great job he did in protecting my perimeter. I always used to know if Pongo barked, I needed to pay attention to something, because he came into my life and did a great job fulfilling his purpose and our contract together. And there was a sadness in knowing that part of the journey was complete. And also there was a sense of relief. So that contrast again, in feeling absolute relief that he was no longer in pain, and that he could go, because he's been a great dog and he's been a great companion, and he's been a great teacher. So it really reminded me yesterday, when I was sort of standing in this place of, who am I again? And what is the next aligned action that I need to take in actually deepening into my practice and my purpose, not only in my own life, but in the lives of the people that I support. And how oftentimes our fear, that imagination that has no love in it, will hold us back from actually taking the next step without knowing what it's going to look like or how it's going to show up. So I just unplugged this morning. I could have forced myself to go to gym. I could have forced myself to do a lot of things. I honored the clients that I had. There goes my phone. And I stopped looking at the distraction of not feeling the intensity of the pain, of feeling intensely into so many aspects and so many contrasts. And I listened to my body. I took myself off for a massage with an incredible man that has magic fingers, and it was painful. You know, I lay there and it was so painful because I was feeling everything so intensely. Have you ever had those sort of feelings, times when sometimes it is a little numbed down, or it is just pleasant, or I don't know, with massage I don't want to tickle, I want to be deeply moved, I want to be touched in the places in my body that are actually holding on to things that I no longer require. And I was just so grateful that I could be in that space of just allowing my body to feel so intensely everything that my mind was still trying to figure out. And eventually it quietened down, just like we did in one of the challenges during the belief challenge. There was a lot of resistance, and it's not that resistance isn't going to be there, but I was just reminded again for myself of this place of dropping into feeling so intensely in pain, you know, that I was groaning and moaning and screaming at times. But there came to a place, this luminal space of sort of where I no longer was I was when I walked in, and I wasn't where I needed to be yet. I didn't know what that looked like. And in that place, I got so much clarity. I got so much clarity on sorry, my phone is ringing, on the back burner for a while. You know, there's been a book that's been wanting to come through me, and it's changed shape and form so many times, including the title of it. You know, Beyond the Edge of Madness was what it was originally called. And yesterday, as I lay in the space of just allowing myself to receive and allowing myself to feel, while this amazing healer worked on me, on my tissues, I released these issues, and I just got absolute clarity on what this book wants to become, because I'm not the same person that started that. You know, the story is still there, the profound insights and the lessons that I've learned about being in touch with my humanity, which is a great place that fear takes us. I was able to get absolute clarity in what is required of me to actually get down and complete this book for anybody that wants to receive it. So, you know, that's kind of the value that I wanted to share today, is to allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to grieve not only in the normal reaction, but also in those conflicting feelings that are caused because your world is changing, because you've taken some inspired action and things are not what they used to be. You know, it's kind of like that metaphor of a snake that's outgrown its skin, and it's time to shed some of these layers so that you can be more flexible and get used to how it feels to be in this new body and this body of work that wants to come through you. So that's kind of my medicine for you today. I hope it's been helpful. If there are any questions and you'd like me to answer it quickly, let me know. But just allow yourself to get that clarity of the container that you're wanting to hold and the spaces that you want to move into, and what action is required for you to actually start to look at the blind spots and listen to your intuitive voice. And sometimes it's in those moments of pain, like I had lying on that massage bed today, that allowed me to get really in touch and focus on, and feel the difference between that quiet voice of my wise woman, my sage, my divinely guided spirit team, and my team players, including my animal guides, to go into that and deepen into that. So that's my 2 cents worth of medicine today. Just allow yourself to look at that. And also, you know, something else just before I leave that sort of been coming up for me is this place where I see so many women, and this is one of my main missions, is to get women to be able to stand up and see each other and celebrate each other. And I know some of you that are here, thank you for joining me, know what I'm speaking of, where, you know, there isn't a lack of shining on the planet, that we all come with our own unique talents and gifts and capacities to contribute to a greater world, a world where we thrive together, and the value of tribe. And you know, if you have any kind of envy, or you're holding back actually giving someone a shout out, or sharing somebody, like my amazing guy that I saw today, and I'll post his details below if you're in the Santon area, or even if you're not. He's so worth coming to see. His name is Gavin, and he's at the Chinese Medical Massage Center where the Baron is on Main. You know, he's supporting a family. He's away from his wife and his kids in China, and because he needs money to send back as a resource to create a better life for his family. And I so appreciate and value him, but he works on tips only, you know, and he's worth his weight in gold. So if you're wanting to move some issues in your tissues, go and see Gavin, tell him that I sent you, and let him put his hands on you, feel his touch, and allow your body to receive that. And I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, so what was I going to say about envy and contrast of you know, allow yourself to have what other people are having. There's a difference between envy and jealousy, of saying that if I have something that person has, that someone has to go without. And that's really the space that I hold in the Gifted Life Project, and in all my work and my trainings, is we all bring our own peace. So allow yourself to see what you would like to have for yourself in other women, and say, I'm having that too, and know that light that you see in other people, what you want for yourself in other people, allow yourself to go within and have that for yourself, and ask yourself, you know, what is my path? What is the aligned action that I need to take right now to create this for myself? And then get really honest with yourself and let yourself go there. So that's it for me. I'm going to go and support my daughter, and just remind her to live into her gifts and believe that she is valuable, and that she is her best, most beautiful resource, and that she needs to trust that. They put her in the position of goal shooter, and she was really quite pissed about that yesterday, and she went into this whole story of that, oh, she doesn't think that the coach likes her. And I'm like, Thal, it has nothing to do with her liking you. She sees your potential to be brilliant at being the goal shooter, to create a win for the whole team. And she wasn't convinced, because she wants to play defense, because she's tall and she's pretty good at blocking blocking the ball. But we went on the court last night, and she had a good cry about missing her dog, and she came with me to the vet. But we went out and we let our body move, and we shot some hoops, and I just kept looking at her and going, you know, and you don't believe that you're a brilliant goal shooter for what reason? I mean, she was totally getting those hoops in the ball in the hoop. So yeah, you know, keep aiming at what you want, and know that you can have it, and start asking some generative questions that are going to get you the results that you want. Okay, I love you lots. Hello, my beautiful Michelle. I know I owe you a blog. I'm sorry. I haven't got there yet, but have a beautiful day. If it feels light to you, if you would like more of this, I'm going to share. I don't know what I'm going to share. I have so much to share, but I'm going to share some of my pragmatic tools and ways on a Facebook Live over at my business page at about 7 o'clock tonight. So if that's something that you are interested in, please join me. Bring your questions. I would be so honored to help you move obstacles out of your own way, including your own unconscious commitments that you've made to stay stuck in what you are. And if no one shows up, who knows? Maybe I won't do it anyway. But that's my invitation. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day wherever you are, and know that you are your most valuable resource. You have everything that you already need, and the world's waiting for what only you have to give. Not someone like you, but only what you have to give. So stop keeping us waiting, and get out there and be amazing, because you are. Love you. Bye. Mwah.